declaration. This is called initialization. And after that, again we are accessing username and sending some David into it. This is assignment. That's what you need to know. That means sending a value into it is not called initialization. If value is sent into it at the time of declaring, while declaring itself, you are sending a value into it, then that is called as initialization. So variable have three phases: declaring and assignment and initialization. So this is declaring var username, that is declaring. Actually, in JavaScript, generally in JavaScript, declaring variable is not mandatory. So in JavaScript, declaration is not mandatory. In JavaScript, variable declaration is not mandatory. It's not mandatory. Variable declaration is not mandatory. That means you can directly assign a value into variable. No need to declare variable. So you see here, I am writing here x equal to 10. This is directly assigning, not initializing also. This is assigning. And document.write, I am printing x equal to the value of x. That means plus is used to concatenate with some I am not declaring here. I am not declaring the x variable. Without declaring, I can use it. So declaring of variable in JavaScript is not mandatory. But declaring of variable is mandatory. That means declaring is mandatory if JavaScript is in strict mode. JavaScript is in strict mode. If it is in strict mode, declaring variable is mandatory. So currently it is not in strict mode. How to turn on the strict mode? We learned it now. How to turn on the strict mode? How to turn on the strict mode? So at the top, we have to use strict. Yes, we have to use strict. That is the strict mode. Now, when you turn on the strict mode, in strict mode, without declaring, you cannot use a variable. That means you see now. So I will refresh here. It's not working. So, and go to inspect. And in the console, it will show reference error saying that X is not defined. So in strict mode, it's mandatory that variable need to be declared. So in other programming languages, it will not allow to declare variables, to use variables without declaring. But in JavaScript, it will allow. If it is in strict mode, it will not allow. So it is mandatory that in strict mode, you have to declare variables. Variable declaration is mandatory in JavaScript if JavaScript is in the strict mode. That is